Alright, on this video right here, we're going to go over the second type of transformation of a parabola. And you can see right here at the top, it's called a dilation. What this just basically means, either the parabola is going to get wider or it's going to get skinnier, or we could say more narrow. The ones that you already did were the vertical translations, where you just move it up or down, but the width was always the same. Okay, now let's look at this one right here. For all these ones that we do, again, you can see 5, 6, 7, 8, there's no x term. So I know the vertex, the x value is going to be 0. And I could plug 0 in. Well, real easy. If I plug 0 in, I have 2 times 0 squared. And 0 squared is 0, so 2 times 0 gives me 0. So the vertex is just at the origin, 0, 0, so I'm going to put this point. Now I'm going to do the same thing. This is the vertex, so I'm going to plug in 1 point, right? This is the vertex, 1 point to the left and 1 point to the right. So I'm plugging in those same values of 1 and negative 1. Okay, and now if I plug in 1, okay, I'm just going to change this. Let's see here. I'm going to plug in 1 for x. So I'm going to have 2 times 1 squared. Well, 1 squared is 1, and 2 times 1 gives me 2. So I get 2 for that. So if I go 1, 2, I'm up here. So you can see how it goes up quicker. Now, same thing. I'm going to use a mirror point. If this is the vertex and it goes up here, so I can go to the left 1. I'm at the vertex. I go to the left 1, and there's another point that's at negative 1, 2. So negative 1, 2 is right here. So this gets a little skinnier. Okay, now if I did 3, same thing's going to happen. The vertex, there's no x, so it's 0. And if you plug 0 in, 3 times 0 squared is 0. So we get 0 here. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to plug in 1 and negative 1. Now if I plug in 1, I have 3 times 1 squared. 1 squared is 1. 3 times 1 is 3. So it goes up quicker. When this number, this coefficient for x squared, when that gets higher and higher, the parabola is going to get skinnier and skinnier. So 1, 3 is right up here, right? It keeps going up higher. And same thing, if this is the vertex here, and I go to the right one, well, if I go to the left one here at the vertex, I go to the left one, this point's going to be on there, which is negative 1, 3. So that's negative 1, 3, which is this. And you can see it gets skinnier than the first one. So you can see, here's the key. If I increase this, if I make it 4x squared, 5x squared, 6x squared, 7x squared, it keeps getting, the parabola keeps getting more narrow. Now let's look at the opposite. Let's look at 7 and 8. 7 and 8, now the coefficients for x squared are smaller and they're fractions. So I'm just going to go right here. Vertex is 0, 0. So there it is, 0, 0. I'm going to plug same thing in, 1 and negative 1. So when I plug in 1, I have 1/2 times 1 squared. 1 squared is 1, and 1/2 times 1 is 1/2. So I get 1/2. So if I graph 1 1/2, it's right up here. And you can see it's actually going to get wider. So if let's see here, if I'm at 1 1/2, I go to the left one, go to the left again. This is going to be negative 1 1/2. So negative 1 1/2, just right here. And it gets a little bit, you can see it gets wider here. Okay, let's do number 8. Same old story, vertex is 0, 0, because x is 0. So let's put that in. I'm going to plug in 1 and negative 1. And at this point, you probably know the pattern. If you plug in 1, you have 1/4 times 1 squared. 1 squared is 1. And 1/4 times 1 equals 1/4. So we get 1/4. Now if I only go up 1/4, I barely go up. So like this is 1. 1/4 is barely above the x-axis. It's like right about there. So it's like right here. And I'm going to get the same thing. Negative 1 is going to give me 1/4. So this even gets wider. So I put negative 1, you get 1/4. Okay? So the main thing to remember, let's do this. Let's go right to conclusion. All right. Now the A value. What do I mean by the A value? The A value is just, if I go back up here, this is This is the a value. Remember, it's ax squared. A value is the coefficient for x squared. So the case is for 5 and 6. If a is bigger than 1, like number 5 it was 2, number 6 it was 3, then what happens is your parabola, I'll just say parabola, gets skinnier. Okay, it gets more narrow. Now, if a is a fraction, and here's the key part, it can't just be any fraction if it's a fraction less than 1. For 7 it was 1/2, for 8 it was 1/4, then the parabola is going to get wider. So we'll say parabola gets wider. Alright, that's the main thing. So if you see this right away, you should know, alright, parabola is going to get more narrow, or the parabola is going to get wider.